Good morning. You're listening to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Glen Hussmann, who's president with Tandus Centiva. Glen, how you doing?
Great. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. Good to be with you. Yeah, I just said Tandus Centiva. That may be new to some people. That's the name that your company now is going under. It's been a little over a year since Tarkett bought Tandus, and they had already bought Centiva prior to that. And now you've merged those two organizations, and you're going under Tandus Centiva, right?
Yes, it's pretty much that simple. Both chance to get these two companies together as a result of both being Tarkett companies, absolutely.
Now, this past Friday, I was able to go and see you do a very interesting community service / team building project, and that's why I wanted to do this interview. I wanted to bring visibility to it because I think more companies should do this, and I think there's a little bit of history to it. You have an annual sales meeting, and you bring, I guess, more than 200 people together. So as part of this annual sales meeting, you take a day and you go out into the community and do a team building exercise, but it's a team building exercise with an added benefit, right? Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, that's right. Like a lot of other companies, we had a history of doing a variety of team building exercises, and you know what those are all like, and building things and scavenger hunts and all these types of activities, and they're all great. But we decided several years ago that we could really accomplish a couple of things. One, we saw a need in the communities that we serve to do some good things, and we started to organize a service day. We started about 6 years ago here in and around the Dalton community at various agencies and various nonprofits, and it's really just taken off from there. So it has become an integral part of our annual get-together for all of our sales teams. We had about 230 people together, including a lot of our business managers here in the Dalton area this past week. We had 5 projects that we tackled in and around the Dalton community here. We had 4 of them in Chatsworth, as a matter of fact, and 1 here in Dalton. So a lot of outdoor renovation and indoor renovation, and of course we're in the flooring business, so a lot of that renovation involves flooring. And yes, the added benefit is that the Tandus and Centiva folks just love to do it.
Let me explain a little bit more detail, because as I said, I was able to go and see this. So, like a lot of companies do, you bring everybody together, and I believe with your company, you alternate. You do it here in this area, which is the Chattanooga, Northwest Georgia area, and then on the other years, you pick a place somewhere else in the country to go. And even when you travel, you do it. I thought that was very interesting. So you have your normal type sales meeting. Everybody gets together. You give awards for accomplishments. You talk about new products and missions and goals and things like that. And a lot of companies then do the next thing. They either go out and play golf, or they go out and they hire Pecos River and they go do a trust fall and a pole climb and those kind of things. But no, that's not what Tandus Centiva does. No, you guys load up 5 buses, 230 some people, and you go to these different locations and you paint the walls, you install your power bond carpet if that's what's required. You went to the Boys and Girls Clubs, you went to some sheriff's youth home. I can't name them all, but you really made a huge difference. You built a swing set, playground, and not only are you doing a community service, but everybody was getting to know one another, and I listened to the conversations, and they were talking about some of the challenges that they were running up against out there in the marketplace as they were standing together painting the walls. Very interesting.
Yes, well, you put a challenge in front of these folks, and they will normally tackle it. We had projects involving a lot of cleanup, a lot of painting, a lot of restoration. We moved our meeting up a month. We usually have the meeting in March, so outdoor renovation becomes a little bit questionable because of the weather risk. So a lot of our projects this year were indoor focused. A lot of willing and able, high energy people wanting to tackle projects. We usually work for about 5 or 6 hours, well-coordinated events. We got everything done, and the people that we're serving are very, very grateful. And the added benefit, as we've discussed, is the camaraderie and the team building, the sense of accomplishment, sense of giving back. Integral part of our culture, and I think that if we ever didn't do a full day of community service, our folks would protest. They've come to love it. And every other year, we're here in the Dalton community because that allows our sales team also to engage with all of our customer service teams, our operations teams, and everybody that's helping them serve customers throughout the year. And then we will go to a location. Last year, we were in San Diego, and we will coordinate with local United Way agencies, for example, to coordinate opportunities to give back to those communities also.
You know, and there's a lot of planning. I could tell there'd been a lot of planning in this because you've got 230 or so people together. You've got to divide them up, and you've got to decide who goes where. And I was asking you about that on Friday, and the first thing you do is try to get the people with some skill sets around these various things like painting and building and stuff like that, and you assign them, and then you fill in around that, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. A lot of these projects do require some skilled labor, and we do make sure that the folks that know how to install floors are evenly distributed. Mm-hmm. We've got carpenters among our population. We've got great painters. We've got people that have a lot of good skills, and then some that are a little less skilled. So you definitely have to divide up your labor. The projects have to be well coordinated. You've got a limited amount of time, a lot of people ganging up on projects. But I tell you, Kemp, I have been just pleasantly surprised and really amazed at what the team's been able to accomplish over the years. We've really done some really impactful things, and you show up at some of these projects and you kind of shake your head and say, how are we going to do this? Mm-hmm. And sure enough, it gets done.
All right. Well, kudos to you for doing that. Let's move to business for a quick second. As we look at 2014, and here I'm talking to the president of an organization, I always like to ask what your outlook is and current business conditions. Tell us what you're seeing out there.
Well, we finished 2013 and as our first full year of a Target company. It had a very good year. And I think like a lot of other folks in the industry, we're bullish about 2014. We enter the year with the momentum. We see some light at the end of the tunnel in some of the major segments we serve, such as education and government, that were not so robust in 2013. Our corporate business is very healthy right now, and we're just now beginning to look at projects from a multi-service perspective, and that's new and that's fun and exciting for us with the Centiva and Tandus portfolios now together. So we're on some steep learning curves there, but see great opportunities to service all of our core segments with both LVT and all of our soft surface product categories. I'm as optimistic about 2014 as I have been for a long time heading into a new year.
Okay, that's great. Well, it's good to talk to you. Again, we're talking to Glen Hussmann, who's president with Tandus Centiva, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.